This is Project Bullseye, improving AIM by using social and emotional learning strategies to help Year 9 students at Crestwood High School form and maintain healthy relationships. This project seeks to reinvigorate Crestwood High School's existing AIM program. There are approximately 969 students, evenly split between boys and girls. The existing AIM program is to create a safe, respectful learner by covering topics such as dealing with pre-examination stresses, school processes, when to see a doctor, as well as merit awards and other administrative functions. Crestwood allocates a 20-minute period per fortnight to AIM and is delivered by the homeroom teacher. Evidence indicates the program is ineffective. Students are not engaged as they perceive the sessions to be boring or irrelevant. We propose that the AIM program becomes more effective in the time frame by targeting an age-appropriate program addressing social and emotional learning needs of students. A 1 or 2 day intensive retreat is proposed for the period following end of the program, where social issues can be covered in more depth. So we are targeting a Year 9 group as they often experience major changes in their physical appearance and emotional understanding. Therefore, it is paramount that these students are given the opportunity and the skills to form and maintain healthy relationships. While this proposal is initially being trialled on Year 9 students, if successful, it may be extended to other year groups.
So following on from that, the overall goal of this product is to revitalise and strengthen the existing AIM program at Crestwood High School by focusing on social and emotional learning. This will be achieved through developing awareness in out-of-school environments, reduction of school setting focuses, building skills in problem solving, promoting resilience, and also promoting the management of behaviour, specifically through an understanding in how to control anger and resolve conflict. Our product was inspired by the following image, which highlights the development of social and emotional learning of students.
Okay, so in a review of literature, we wanted to identify what is social and emotional learning to start with. So in an article by Resnick and Elias in 2013, social and emotional learning can be explained as the process of attaining competencies to recognise and manage emotions, establish and maintain positive relations, responsible decision-making, set and accomplish goals, deal with interpersonal relationships constructively, and appreciate the varied perspective of others. In looking at this and the way that it's implemented in schools, it was identified that an acronym of SAFE was used. So this included, with the S, sequenced activities that allowed students to have coordinated and connected ways of learning skills. The A is active forms of learning. F, focused on the enhancement of one or more social skills. And E is the explicit focus on specific skills. In looking further on that and how it's put into specific schools and situations, Durlach, Weisberg, Debnicki, Taylor, Schlinger, in a 2011 article, identified 4 domains that they program in, and that's life skills and social competencies with activities around life, health, and workplace. So the second is health promotion and problem prevention. So this is highlighting the drug use, violence, respectful relationships. The third is coping skills and social support. So this is involving kids and helping them build relationships with peers, parents, and staff that create a supportive network in order to deal with these challenging situations. And the fourth is positive contributory service. So getting these kids to understand that in order to be a contributor to a society, they have to volunteer or they have to take leadership. So getting them in peer mentoring roles or helping with support students and other areas. So this was contrasted by Wonbro CHS Educational Support Centre. They also use domains, but they use 6 different domains, which can be highlighted through the acronym HAPPIER, which is positive health, positive accomplishments, positive purpose, positive emotions, positive engagement, and positive relationships. Some specific ones that they use is paths, so promoting alternative thinking strategies. They get the students to build their own ways and awareness of their emotions, so it enhances their problem solving skills through building their own language of their emotions and using that in classroom. Also, they use protective behaviours, which involve a program about growing and developing healthy relationships. They ask students to access health programs and identify the effectiveness that target sex education, healthy eating, and lifestyle education. They also do one on resilience that highlights bullying.
So whilst it was decided that our initial plan is to target Year 9 students, the outcomes that we achieve should have a focus on a whole school approach. The outcomes outlined will not focus on specific subjects, but will rather look upon students' place in a wider school context. Some broad outcomes that could be used to measure an increase in social and emotional learning include an increase in positive social behaviour, which shows students are forming and maintaining healthy relationships with their teachers and peers, fewer conduct problems. This highlights that students are able to voice concerns that they are having in a positive manner rather than resorting to verbal and physical altercations, less emotional distress. Students are able to regulate their emotions effectively and seek help from their peers and teachers, and also improved academic performance. So due to students having positive relationships in the classroom and beyond, they are more focused and attentive on schoolwork and tasks. Most of these outcomes could be measured with the help of Central, with academic performance being measured through the tracking of marks and conduct and social behaviour being measured through incident reports that are uploaded to Central itself.
So the timeline of our project spans from 2 weeks prior to the school term and through this term and 1 week following. For the 2 weeks prior to the term, the old AIM program is evaluated and research is carried out to inform the new program and ready it for implementation. So the old program is evaluated for its effectiveness and purpose, and the flaws we discovered in the old program are used to base the research that we do to improve it, is discussed to design the new program and prepare it to be put into place. At the beginning of the school term, the new program is implemented and is pre-assessed to see what we expect to get out of the program. So that all occurs in week 1 of the term. Also from this week is where the outcomes or goals of the program are set and monitored, and the program begins in this week. So the phases of the program and activities that students are expected to participate in and will do throughout the term are carried out at school. So over the course of the 9 weeks of the first 9 weeks of the term, students participate in the new program. Sessions occur fortnightly in student homeroom groups, and in week 9 of the term, an intensive retreat is undertaken where students get out of the school environment and address more social and emotional needs. Through week 9 and into week 10, the program is evaluated. So we look at the success and shortcomings of the program. Following the term is the 1 week of post-project assessment. So to evaluate the progress of students, inform us about whether the program was successful in meeting its outcomes, and brought about the changes in the students' social and emotional learning that we were hoping to achieve through this project.
Okay, in order of successfully implementing a more functional AIM program at Crestwood High School, resources will be utilised to ensure that the program is both comprehensive and coordinated effectively within the school. The following resources will increase the likelihood of students achieving valued goals and satisfying the product outcomes. Allocation of time for staff development. Staff will need adequate training and a general understanding of any shortcomings the existing program had to therefore improve on it. This may require somebody from outside the school to host a meeting in regards to the importance of social and emotional learning. Formation of a subcommittee. The progress of AIM will be coordinated by a subcommittee. These members will be responsible for monitoring progress, allocating time for meetings, and raising any general areas of concern. The committee should be accessible to other staff and be mindful of any substantial changes occurring within the school and within the lives of at-risk students. Funding for the school camp to occur in week 9. The expenses for the school camp in week 9 need to be reviewed, managing the cost for students and organising fundraisers to build revenue. Dialogue between parents and members of community. Maintaining a dialogue between teachers, parents and members of community based on student behaviour inside and outside the classroom. Have improvements in social and emotional behaviour being conducted by the students, and or have any other observable changes occurred throughout the program.
As this has been a trial project, we're going to have to evaluate it and then use the data that we get from the evaluation to so we can improve it, and if it's something that's worth carrying out into a broader context in the whole school instead of sticking to 1 year. One of the ways we considered doing this was through a survey of the students at the conclusion of the intensive day. Probably easy to do that in a SurveyMonkey sort of format. We can get a tool that will collate the quantitative data from that and present that. We're using a Likert scale type questioning. We can also use it to collate the qualitative responses. I'd suggest that we use a survey of parents as well, so we can see how they have come about, whether they've noticed any changes in the students' behaviours, in their attitudes, or even in the students' ability to discuss topics that are covered in the program with their parents, just whether that's opened up, because we're doing social and emotional learning parents are going to be pretty well attuned to doing that. We have to get all this data so we can evaluate it. There's another bit of data we can mine. As Luke said, a lot of the impact of this is going to show up on Central with records of attendance and exam results, etc. So we can correlate and cross-reference the data to see whether the program has had an effect, and use a more longitudinal study with appropriate ethical and parental permissions to track students as they go through to see whether what we're teaching them in these programs, different life skills, whether that has any sort of impact and whether that is attributed to the program itself or to other extrinsic factors.